Hello everyone, this is Johannes,
And this is Cinema.
and you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings,
And today we're taking a look at Aquatica.
which is a new game from CosmoDrome Games and designer Ivan Tosowski.
And here are our first impressions.
Aquatica is a card-driven game where you are thematically playing as one of the kings of the sea, trying to explore the lands to get new resources and new domain for your kingdom. So in this game, this is basically a micro-turn game, kind of like Concordia, where you're playing one card and doing what it says on the card, placing that in this card pile, and then it's the next player's turn. So gameplay, like the rules, are pretty simple, right?
Yeah, it's really simple. Just play a card, do the action, and it's easy to teach, easy to learn.
Yeah, most of the rules are pretty simple as well. I have to say, like, when I look at this rulebook, it's a pretty small one, like in size, but it is 31 pages. Or 30, because the last page is just artwork. But it's 30 pages of stuff. There is, like, large illustrations, but it seems like a hefty rulebook. Like, when you pick this up, if you are afraid of reading rules, you will be like, I don't want to play this game. But the rules are pretty straightforward. As you say, you're playing a card and doing what it says. There are quite a few icons in the game, but they are not that hard to understand and to get used to the icons. They're pretty simple and pretty easy to get familiarized with, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like attack power, get coins, get like bumping up the upgrades on your cards, which is the most interesting part because these locations that you're conquering, you're trying these have these special abilities, and to score the points on those locations, you have to either use the special ability or you have to like fast forward on them. That's cool.
Yeah, so if you have seen anything about this game, you have seen the player boards where you can put a card in and you can slide it upward. That is super cool.
It looks really good.
So yeah, like the artwork in this game is amazing.
Yeah. It looks so nice on the table, and all these little like mantas, the tokens are really nice and got a nice feel to them.
Yeah, and it looks like you're under the sea,
Yeah.
like under the sea. You can't really get through this review without that reference.
No, you can't.
Like, it's so blue, and all the artwork is really nice. I love the look of the game. The cards are looking really cool, both the
The artwork
smaller
is really nice.
location cards and the character cards are really nice. And also, one of the things that makes this pretty simple, like this is kind of like in Concordia, where there aren't a lot of different cards you can buy. Yeah, this is like a random street of cards, but there are only like 7, 8. I don't really remember the number, but there's not so many different ones. So there's not like it's not like, oh, you got that one card which is super good and I can't get it. It's just like, oh, I got that one now. And it doesn't really feel like a deck builder because you're only gonna get probably 3 more cards into your deck, like 3, 4 cards depending on how you play.
Yeah,
So
and
you,
getting coins are really like rare in this game actually. And when you firstly have coins, you can either buy a location or a card, so you have to choose. And there's only one card in your starting hand, making you get more cards.
So basically, what you're trying to do in this game is to score 4 objectives. There are 4 objectives on the game board, and you can play. You have a pile of 6 discs with different goals on both sides of 12 goals, so you can mix and match when you're starting to learn the game. And these are basically what you're going for. So you will be playing differently depending on that. But what you are doing, you are playing the cards to mostly get new locations, which you put on your board, and then they have, like you said, these different abilities down there, and you want to fill them all or slot them all the way into the player board, because when you are like they are at the top, you can then score them with other cards. So the cards you have on your board doesn't score you anything. You have to take them off and actually score them to be able to get points.
I like those exchangeable or like variable goals that you have to get to. I think those working towards those with the special like location combos is like the main interesting part of the game. And when you have these different ways of playing depending on the goals that you have to reach, it makes it a really replayable game, even though it is so simple.
Yeah, so what you're doing in the game will feel mostly the same, but is it fun? That's like the most important thing. Is the gameplay good? What do you think?
I think it's not amazing, but compared to how fast it plays and how fast we've played it, at least, I think you get a lot of game in a short amount of time. How long did we use?
The first time we played, we took about an hour, but that was at the last game we played in essence, so we were super tired, all of us. It took a really long time. 4 players are actually fine because 2 played as a team, so that takes even more time because they have to discuss what they're doing.
Yes.
And then we played 2 more games at 3 players, and those took 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a super quick game. And probably a lot of you will be saying like, wow, I didn't know it was such a quick game. And maybe that's kind of like one of the things that doesn't make it great for me.
Yeah.
Because this is a filler game. And no bad thing about filler games, but I was hoping it to be a bit longer. The box says it should be about 60 minutes. And yeah, you can take that probably in a 4-player game the first time, or if you're not playing fast. But it is a short game.
Yeah, I think it depends also on which goals there are out.
Yeah.
If there are like 3 goals that focus on the same thing,
yes.
it will play faster. And if all of the goals are really different, it will play slower.
But this game really feels like a race.
Yeah, it feels definitely like a race. And the first time we played it, I felt like I hadn't even begun before the game ended. Even though I won.
And you have won all the times to play this game, so you like it more than me.
Yeah, I like it.
But it feels really like a race because you have to, because it's so fast. You can't really build yourself up. You have to optimize and go through those goals at the beginning of the game. That is what you have to have your mind set at, because the first player who takes a goal get 8 points, and then it's 5 and 3. So the later in the game you get to the goal. So you have been like first at 3 goals and 2 goals and even 4 goals. I think the first time we played, and it's just like you get crazy amount of points. And so it really feels like that, more of like a race game basically than any other type of game. And you don't since it's so quick, you don't really get into the building up your deck. You don't really get to that. You will get maybe, as I said, 2, 3 cards, maybe 4 if there's like goals for getting a lot of characters. But it is, I think there's a lot of nice things here. It's not really anything mind blowing.
No, I think what I like most about it, that makes it like worthy of being its own game, is the cards you can use for special abilities, and also you want to score them, and maybe you didn't need that special ability now, but it's good, so do you want to skip it, do you not? And also the variable goals to like use your cards to get there, and you have to like prioritize. So if you have to like put up a mind map in your head what you're going to do to achieve those goals before the other players. And I think that is a really most interesting part here. And that also makes me a little sad that it's actually that fast, because I could play much longer with that cool puzzle of making, and I could have like 5 cards in one go and just like boom, doing all. I don't feel like I could do that fully before the game ends.
Like, there's not often I will say this, but it feels like it could have been longer.
Yeah.
It feels like I could have had like, because. But to say that as well, like in half an hour, there's a lot of game in half an hour, and it's super quick to set up, so it doesn't like feel like we spent that time setting up. It's basically shuffling 2 decks of cards, maybe doing a draft in the beginning of the kings if you want to do that. In the first game, you're just gonna get one. Other than that, you're gonna start playing. So you can play this. We played this twice in a row the other day with 3 players, and it took an hour, like 20 minutes each time, an hour to play it. With the teach, because the teach is like 5 minutes, pretty quick, and you play it in an hour 2 times with the teach. So that is both a positive and a negative, because it is one of those games that I like the mechanisms. I like it, so it could have been doubling the length, but then maybe it would have been too long. I don't know. It is a really light game, so
it is, but I think it's actually a huge compliment to the mechanisms of the game, that you could actually miss playing it for longer, and it's not a lot of games that I can say that about. That's interesting.
So yeah, absolutely, and basically, like, what is new here is the sliding on the cards, which both the actual doing it and the way they've done it with the player boards is super
So
cool.
clever. I like that.
And you had to do that to be able to make it work that
Yeah.
way. And I like that you slide it up and then you get that ability that you slide through and you can have to try to do those combos.
Yeah.
That is basically the new thing in this game,
Yeah.
and the thing that will draw people to the game. Other than that, it's a pretty basic game.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. It's been done before. Play a card, do the action. So I think all in all, I like it.
Yeah.
So do you want to add anything we have forgotten? Anything you want to add?
I think that I want to mention that it's so simple that I think it could be used kind of like a gateway to heavier games. And
Like the next step, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I feel like this is something that you can have fun with. And even if you don't quite get it the first time around, it plays so fast. You can just play another round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to do final thoughts?
Yeah, I think this was kind of my final thoughts.
Okay.
I really enjoy this game. I feel like there's the new things that it adds to the gaming world are interesting enough to me that I want to play it. But other than that, it's not mind blowing. It's not like super inventive or super deep, but it's a solid game, and I enjoy playing it. So I think this will be like a 7.5 for me, actually.
Okay, cool. I agree with most of you saying. I think this is a good game. I think we should keep it in the collection because it has that kind of like Concordia feeling, of course, without the map, but that like kind of super quick gameplay that I like in Concordia, and that you can plan ahead, even though, of course, the locations change here, that you have to race for them. It feels like a racing game at the same time of being. That is awesome. Google Home just wanted to talk to us.
Yes.
No worries. But yeah, I really like the game a lot, and I'm also going to give it a 7.5.
Yeah, cool.
So that's the end of the review. We hope you enjoyed it and also enjoyed our Google Home. She really wanted to be in the video.
Oh, she made it.
So that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.